Hello and welcome to Triathlonology, a triathlon podcast by Animis racing team. I'm Oliver.
And I'm Jacqui. We are a mum and son coaching team who have changed our lives through the sport of triathlon.
Our podcast aims to break down the mysteries of triathlon training and show you, the listener, how simple and flexible it can be so that it really does become part of your lifestyle and not just a hobby. Hello and welcome to another episode of Triathlonology, a podcast by Animis racing team.
I'm Jacqui Saxon.
And I'm Oliver Saxon, and together we're a mum and son coaching team from South Yorkshire and North Lincolnshire.
What we thought we'd do a little bit of a follow-on from what we talked about last week and the last episode about Alan Murchison's watermelon salad and drinking water. Well, first of all, look at this water bottle.
I've also got mine. It's mine.
So we're trying really hard to
change
and get our water consumption up, but I've got to tell you, it's very hard. I'm finding it difficult anyway. So, but keep looking at those lines on the thing saying it's 3 o'clock and why aren't you drunk so much? And I think, gotta have another drink. The downside is you spend a lot of time at the ladies.
Well, or not, as the case may be for me. So either I'm really dehydrated or...
You drink a lot more than me though.
Well, yeah, probably do, yeah.
So for me, it's like getting a new habit. And I'm trying, very, very trying. And today I made myself Alan Murchison's watermelon and feta salad. And I was going to take a picture, but when I realised I hadn't took one, I'd eaten it. So... Take it from me, it was really nice.
But I imagine you'll probably make it again at some point.
Oh yeah, because I've got enough to make for tomorrow, so I'm going to make some more tomorrow. I've just got to buy some more rocket. So I will try and take a picture tomorrow.
Which will be the week before you hear this episode.
Yeah.
So you might have to look back on our Instagram to see that happening.
Yeah, definitely. So something exciting's happening for us at the weekend.
On Sunday, we will be doing the first triathlon that we have raced and not organised since September 2019. Are you ready for it? To quote Taylor Swift.
I don't know any songs from Taylor Swift, so it's no good asking me about. But I thought to myself today, do you know what? I am quite excited about this, and I've got no expectations. I'm just doing it just to really get back into racing and see how it feels. I've got no expectations whatsoever. I have still not tried on my new wetsuit, and I've even bought a new tri-suit because I thought, I can't be out messing about going up loft and going through all suitcases trying to find the Animis gear that we packed up, racing gear when we packed up when we moved last year. So I thought, Decathlon come to the rescue. So tomorrow I am going to have a practice at putting the tri-suit on and then putting the wetsuit on because I'm really hoping it fits.
Well, in a similar tale of events, I also can't find my tri-suit because I've not raced since we moved house and I don't really know which box it, because not all the stuff's been unpacked yet. Because we've not had to really in 2 years.
I think that's because you don't have to.
It's probably in a box in my loft from my racing kit that I've not needed to get out because I've not done any races. So I don't know where my tri-suit is. I cannot find one on Decathlon's website that is in my size for me to wear, and I can't find one anywhere. So at this point, I might be doing it in Speedos and having to just let people see what I look like without that. But hopefully, worst comes to worst, we might be able to pick one up at Expo.
I'm sure we'll be able to get one.
Or I can contact maybe Dino at Hoob and see if he's got something in the back room that he can sell me anyway. But I've also got a new wetsuit that I'm going to chop the sleeves off with a pair of scissors. Shoulders off with a pair of scissors so I can just get it on. Or then just go and my plan on the day is I'm just going for a little 750 metre swim, which I know I can do. I'm just going to take it steady. And then I'm going to go for a 20 kilometre bike, which I know I can do. I'm just going to take it steady. And then I'm going to do my 5k run. That might end up being more like a run walk. depending on how my leg goes. Because I'm still getting a bit of neural trouble with my leg when I try and speed up. So it might end up being a bit of a run walk for half an hour. But it doesn't really matter because I'll have done my first triathlon, I'll have crossed that Rubicon where I've been retired for 5 years. And then it's something to think, right, I've done this, I can get my head down and
really start training properly.
Because it'll no doubt really light me fire. As I was running with Jess at 10Ks, because they shouldn't listen to this, so I can say I get frustrated because I know that we can go better than that, or certainly I can. But I perform as a dutiful husband and stay by her, and I think I'm going to run off. One day, when I get my legs sorted and everything, I'm back capable of running without any problem, I'll just run off and I'll see her at finish line.
And you'll be like your dad.
Yeah, I'll just be back at finish line. So September 2019 was the last time we did an event, when that was the Louth Triathlon.
Louth, yeah, that was a weird triathlon.
Which were part of the Lincolnshire series, weren't it? Because we didn't do them all, did we? Because it was Grantham.
We didn't do Grantham because something come up where we couldn't do Grantham.
Were we away in Portugal?
We might have been in Portugal, or we might have come back that day.
Yeah.
Something like that. But we did Skegness, which we liked doing.
Yeah, we enjoyed Skegness because that were mainly an out and back along river, weren't it? Or canal or whatever there is down there. I know there's a sea, but it weren't next to. I'm sure it weren't next to the sea.
It's not really sea there either.
But it is.
There. It's not like
Cleethorpes where it's a river, but it's more sea than
Cleethorpes.
Skeg Vegas than it is at. Well, we didn't race by at sea. There were none of that. It were more either a canal or a river or something we rode along.
We rode along, yeah.
And through some fields, that were good. And then run was a bit.
They didn't have enough marshals turn up, did they?
That one, weren't it?
Yeah, we're doing that. We're talking about
Skegness. We're talking about.
Oh, we're talking about Skegness.
Skegness were good, so that were good.
But we did have a good ice cream.
Yeah, we did afterwards. Yeah, and did we stop at an Airbnb in someone's house?
I thought that was Louth.
That might have been Louth, yeah. Skegness, I think we might have just stopped somewhere else, Premier Inn or something.
Or did we just drive? Because everybody said to us from the club, "Oh, you should have stopped in one of these caravans."
Oh yeah, maybe we did just drive.
Swimming pool were on a caravan site. I think we just drove.
I think we might have just drove. But
but that made us decide that when we did Louth, we weren't driving.
Yeah, we were going to stop in this Airbnb,
which were a bit weird.
Well, it were two rooms in somebody's house.
Yeah.
Which I suppose is a bit like an old-fashioned guest house, really, isn't it?
Yeah, but I've grown up after then.
But we're not really bothered about doing it again, are we? No, Premier Inn all the way.
Or Travelodge, which is our preferred abode on Saturday night and Sunday night next week.
Yes, we're stopping at Travelodge near City Airport, so I don't mind. I'll be asleep, I won't be awakened by planes.
Me neither.
So I'm not really that bothered. Well, then we went to Louth in September, then stayed over at this guest house place. And so you swam in the local leisure centre pool. Yeah. Nice swim, nice pool. Transition were on big playing field behind it.
Some school. It must have been a school.
Yeah, or a common playing field or something belonging to a local authority. But and it were a nice big transition, plenty of set out, finish line on field as well, really good. But they had every event organiser's nightmare where clearly marshals didn't turn up on day and they just had to put event on, which resulted in some people going wrong way to T-junction.
Which is a good job your dad didn't do it, because he would definitely have gone the wrong way, because he goes wrong way even if there are marshals.
Yes. But so some people did go wrong way. And
did a few more kilometres.
Yeah. One person had a puncture when I rode past them. And they'd ended up they'd got a puncture, they'd got a problem, and they had to get rescued because there were no marshal to tell until you got back to transition to say there's somebody out there with a puncture and they're stuck. And they were a young woman, I think. And then we went off on run, and it's a weird run at Louth, isn't it? It's like in and out through town and back onto the field, around the school.
Is that one where they had that fairy garden at end? Or is that Skegness?
Well, I don't know about fairy garden.
Because that's what they said. I'm sure. I know we did all that crossing one road, crossing another road, but I'm sure towards end that we had to run, it was like a garden place. And they called it a fairy garden. I'm thinking, weird.
Right.
But anyway, we did it and we enjoyed it. I enjoyed
we did,
it.
yeah. And then actually Mark Salmon, who were racing, who was an Animis athlete at the time, won the series overall.
Yeah, he did. That was a really, I'm trying to think who organised it. Oh, because they were really good organisers, but they don't do organised triathlon anymore.
No, they did Longhorn and what have you, didn't they? Longhorn trail
they
run
do,
and stuff. Can't think what they were called.
Races now. It'll come to what it. But they were really good. And
yeah, they were.
I mean, we said that they got let down by marshals, but it was a really friendly, well-run event.
Yeah,
well, all the events were.
Yeah, we'd done a few the year before as well, I think.
Yeah.
So
good medals, everything.
Yeah, the individual, there were proper medals for each one, and an overall series medal for Mark.
Yeah.
Weren't there? And a trophy. It was a really nice event. People who put it together were really good.
Sunday. Well, I think the whole weekend I'm looking forward to, because we've got 2 of our athletes racing, and it's the first. Well, one of them. Sorry, Oliver, go on.
SBR events, which we should have really guessed. Swim, bike, run.
Yeah, that's it. One of the ladies has never done a triathlon before, and another one has only done localish ones. So she's never done a 70.3, which is T100 at this event. So it's going to be really exciting. Plus, there are all the pros for us to watch.
Yeah, and it's like a veritable who's who of triathlon pros who aren't going to Olympics, more or less.
Well, it is, because Olympics is next day.
Well, yeah, but everything else is ticking, is happening.
I mean, Lucy Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see her race.
So, where are we going to go and stand? Are we just going to go and stand at XL?
Yeah, I think, and just like lean over
at a balcony
and shout.
Yeah. And then try and get a space up run.
Yeah.
Because another thing, we just don't know how busy it's going to be. Because it used to be we've said before on this podcast, it used to be a 2-day event, and it was booming, absolutely booming, from 6 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock at night on Saturday, and from 6 o'clock in the morning next day till like 6 o'clock at night on Sunday. Just constantly going. But it's only an age group event. Well, this year on Sunday, isn't it? But in
plus men.
Yeah, but it's a much more truncated event in terms of age group participation compared to
the original.
What it was before.
Yeah.
Because even then they had a pro race. It was just more like
it was Super Series.
Weren't it? Because we saw people like Jodie Stimson entering it and winning it. And, Barclay Izzard did it one year.
Yeah.
So there would be quite a few people and that used to happen, like in the gap between the age groupers, and set all these professionals off. They'd whoop around and finish it, and then age groupers would go off again. So it's slightly more controlled at weekend with T100. And for me, what I really want to know
I know what you want. I know where you want to go.
Because we entered the T100.
Oh, yes.
And then obviously, because of our circumstances, I've had to go down to a sprint event. But we hadn't had a refund on his cost. So what I want to know is, are we going to get our T100 race goodie bag? Because we paid for it.
Yeah, listen, he's a lawyer.
That don't mean anything.
Well, he can say I'm a solicitor. We'll see what they say. But I can't see why they wouldn't, because even when the London Triathlon back in the day, when the few weeks before I'd ruptured my ACL and I went down to support you and your dad, they still gave me a medal.
Yeah, because you paid for it.
Because I paid for it.
Oh. So we'll see. We paid for it. Let's see if we end up picking this thing up.
Because technically they should have it.
As long as you've got receipt from his original entry.
Yeah.
Well, get all his receipts, flagging them on your emails, so we can just go to flagged emails and then we can argue toss.
I might even just print them out and be old fashioned.
Oh, that's better. Yeah, printing them out would be better. And then we can work. Then we can say, "Oh, please come
off." I would like my bag because I think it's a hold all.
There's all sorts of stuff.
All sorts of that.
They look really good. They sent us an email by mistake saying whatever in it, and you could.
No, they sent it us before we actually said we were going down to a sprint.
Yeah, but they also sent a mistake email out saying, "Oh, you can get this bag to people who aren't entered."
Yeah.
So then they had to apologise. Then it looked really good. So I think, quite, anything for a bit of free merch, me.
We like merch.
And we've always tended to get some merch from that event. Now we've got a couple of hoodies. from when we've done that event.
One of the best studies I've ever had was my 2013 London Triathlon, which was virgin, because you also got a towel.
Yeah, you did. I've still got that towel.
Yeah, but
and that water bottle.
But that towel, couldn't put it in with anything else because it just made all your washing red or pink, wherever. And I still wear it, so I'm going to buy a new one. So next week I might show it you.
But we are having to go in afternoon, like we've always had to set off normally before.
Well, normally we've had to set off Friday night.
No, as in like event. We've done event. Our start time has always been in afternoon on a Saturday or later or at lunchtime on a Sunday. We're both off early morning. Well, not early, mid morning. So we'll be able to have a pre-race breakfast, which is tin of rice pudding, maybe a spoon of jam, bit of cold jam in the cold rice pudding, maybe. But it will avoid the need to have to go to XL and
sit for hours.
Sit for ages, and also then buy something from one of the food outlets there. That's not ideal, but what choice have you got? Because you can't go back and get it, and you can't fetch your own packed lunch.
No.
So at least we're avoiding that small mercy.
Yeah.
Well, that's a small mercy we're getting rather than avoiding it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So, and the weather looks like it's going to be okay.
Yep.
So.
As long as it don't rain, it'll be fine.
Yeah, because I always think, I know we're already wet and everything, but just looks a lot nicer on your bike if it's not raining.
We'll have to put a jacket on.
Or rubber gloves.
Yeah, not that that'll matter for time this time round, but yeah, it should dry relatively quickly on your bike and not be cold if it's a warm day. And then just it'll be a nice little event. I think you don't really go. I think you go as far as Blackwall Tunnel, don't you, and turn around. You don't have to go down it. I think if you're doing sprints, I can't remember when you look at that.
Do you know, I've not even looked at map, Oliver. I'm terrible.
I'll have to have another look at map to work it out, but I don't think it, because I remember going down it once, Blackwall Tunnel, setting speed cameras off, which were a novelty, and then end at race, stopping my Garmin, and it said I'd gone 70 mile an hour on my bike. And I thought, I have never gone 70 mile an hour in my bike, no chance. So I don't know how Garmin might, unless it just lost signal and made it up. But I definitely, it will have been in a rave. They keep everybody setting speed cameras off as you're going down through the thing, down thingy on your TT bikes and what have you.
Yeah.
But so if we don't get to go down there, that'll be a bit disappointing. But if we do, we do.
I think we will still will.
I don't know, because I think it's just over that bridge, turn around and you do laps like that, I think, for a sprint.
Oh, I don't know, Oliver. Anyway,
we'll find out. We'll find out. But you can tell how prepared we are for this because we've not looked at any race brief properly. But that's because we are literally going to just have some fun. Then we'll have a look at race brief on Saturday when we get there.
It is. You should be doing triathlon for fun, unless you're a professional. You should be doing it for fun.
Yeah, and neither of us are in a state where we can compete, are we? So we are completing. And if, in the words of the great David Tune, are you going to win? No. What the F are you worried about? And so, I am not going to win. I'm not even going to get close. I am not worried about anything.
I'm not.
Just going to go and have a nice time and have a little jolly ride round on my nice bike.
I do hope they've got Erdinger. I know I call it Erdinger at the end.
At the end, yeah.
Because having a pint of that.
And they give you a pint and not an half.
Yeah, proper pint.
Yeah.
Not like they get bits you get at exhibitions now because they're getting tight. But that used to be a real highlight, having a pint of Erdinger at the end, because it just quenches your thirst.
Yes. And it makes you feel like you've had a beer even though you've not really had a beer.
No.
For people who don't really drink.
Yeah, because it would have been no good to us because we would have been away with fairies.
No. So we've got that to look forward to this weekend. So we'll have a little drive down on Saturday morning, watch the female pro race on Saturday afternoon. Then we're going to have a little team meet up and tea, aren't we?
Yeah,
or dinner if you're from south of Sheffield. Have tea with them, and then we'll go back
if we can calm some of the nerves because they're getting a bit nervous, but
we've been there.
It's understandable.
And then we'll go back to his little Premier Inn.
Travelodge. But I will say it is an upgraded Travelodge, and we're having a mega room with super duper shower. So we'll be able to report on whether they're worth the money.
Well, I've never stayed in one of them before.
Me neither.
Well, it can't be any worse than that Travelodge we stayed at before we went to Portugal this year. At services at Castle Donington. That were Bobby Basic.
Do you know, I always think that were Bobby Basic, that one we stopped at when we did Blenheim. That because we ended up getting us money back for that one.
You know what common denominator is? Travelodge at a service station.
Yeah, Travelodge service station.
So, having stopped at them twice at a Travelodge at a service station, we won't be doing it again because they're Bobby Basic, beds are horrible, and they're not very restful places, are they?
No.
So, a top tip from today, don't stay at a Travelodge as part of a service station.
You're alright with the Premier Inn because they've got much better standards, I think.
Yeah, they have.
But this Travelodge is a new Travelodge, and you can have super duper rooms for a little bit extra. So I decided we had to race for 5 years.
Right,
we'll have a nice one.
And we're not too far away from where we stop at West Ferry when we've been and done London landmarks before, haven't we? So at least we know, and we're near Canary Wharf and all that jazz. Yeah. I'm not going on, I will tell you now, I am not going on that cable car to get to the other side of the dock.
Oliver, I have been your mother all these years. Whenever you see me go on a cable car.
Well, no, but just in case you had any ideas.
No, I am not Jessica. I am not blinking a daredevil.
Oh, we'll just get DLR and change.
Yes.
And we can go. There's that food hall that I found when we went for my birthday with me and Jess at Canary Wharf. That I'm sure we'll be able to find something to eat there.
I have read in race brief that we want to park. It's £25.
That's all right.
So it depends whether we want to take vaccine ban or not. We'll see.
Well, I'll make a decision when we see how much hassle it is on DLR getting, because if we're going to check in on Saturday and then we're going back to Travelodge, then we'll know how much hassle it is. We all change and everything in steps and what have you to determine whether we can be bothered on Sunday morning, or whether it's just going to be easier to drive in and sit in Bananita's.
Because we've done that before, haven't we? I think we did that last one.
Last one we did that, we drove in because that were easier.
I don't think it was £25 though.
Yeah, everything's good up on it.
Yeah.
But if we could sit in Bananita's breakfast.
Yeah.
Couldn't we?
Yeah.
So I mean that's maybe less messing about, but we'll see after.
But we'll see.
This is why you go for a day early, so you can scout out what's going to happen with DLR and everything. Because we don't know.
And where we are, and roughly we know where we are and everything, but until you see it, you can't.
You don't know until we haven't stayed there before. We stayed nearby, but not on that bit. So, yes, that will be something for us to look forward to this weekend, and also something for us to report back on next week in our podcast next week.
Yeah.
And hopefully, we might have some feedback from our athletes who are taking part in the event.
What are being coached. Specifically for these events, so we'll see how they feel.
Yes, whether they'll come on to the podcast.
Yeah.
And they will be participants. Let's see.
I'm sure they will.
I'm sure they will, but we'll have to. It's how long it is, whether they're staying afterwards, and how where we record this podcast.
Yeah.
That's his problem, isn't it? Anyway, we'll find that out. And if we can't get that, then I'm sure Mindy will be able to work her audio magic and just stick some voice clips into us with the feedback on, so you'll be able to hear how they went on.
Yeah.
So until next week, when we will be triathletes once again.
Yes. I'm Coach Jacqui.
I'm Coach Oliver, and until next time, we'll see you. Thank you for joining us today.
See you next time.
See you then. Or as we say in Yorkshire, Sithee.